Welcome to another Rusty Crumpets video. Today we've got something a little different. You've probably noticed right off the bat, this is not at all British. So what is this doing in Rusty Crumpets? Well, ever since I was a kid, I have always wanted a Dodge Ramcharger. I found this one at a farm auction in a pasture, a cow pasture, and purchased it on auction for $200. I pulled it off the ground. It had been sitting outside for 21 years. And believe it or not, it is fairly solid. The frame underneath is amazingly good. Now, you can see here there's some rust on the wheels and on the lower rear wing. Sorry, fender. It's an American car. And we'll zoom in here, and there you go. And actually it's not as bad as it looks. It's very superficial. So inside of the fenders, the inner fender wells and linings are actually pretty good. The rear wheels on both sides are very heavily pitted, but these tires are over 26 years old and they're holding air, believe it or not. So that's amazing too. Obviously, the paint is pretty much gone. The patina actually is pretty decent. It's really not that bad. It's kind of got that cool rat rod look to it. The interior, as you're going to see here in just a second, is pretty rough. We'll open up the rear hatch, peek inside, and oi. So the carpet's there, there's spares there, the bits to hold it on the side are not there, the jack isn't there. The headliner, which you'll see again a little later, is completely destroyed, which is very typical of these. The carpet, very, very rough condition. And this is by far the worst part of the vehicle is the interior. So we'll come around on the driver's side here, and you can see kind of similar. You know, there's a little bit of rust down there on the lower part of the fender. The rear wheel is heavily rusted again. Little bit of rust on the front wing on this side. Again, not bad. I was amazed at how cheap the body parts are for these, at least compared to the European cars. The patch panels were like $18 each. And that's just amazing. So very, very simple and economical to buy parts for these vehicles. Mechanical body parts, very, very reasonable, and most anybody of any skill level can do it. And you'll turn around the front here, and you can see, of course, the hood ornament is missing. Most of them are. Everybody asks me if I'm going to put one on. Nope, it'll just get stolen again. Here's where things get really ugly. The previous owner decided to put in a police band radio and just shredded everything. I actually have the dash fascia components. It's the wiring inside and the little knobs and stuff and the vacuum tubes that were really, really destroyed. And you can see the panels on the doors are rough. The front seats are rough. The jump seat in the back is actually in really nice shape. It was detached, and I found it and I threw it in when I bought it because it was laying off to the side somewhere at the auction, but it went to this vehicle, and that was in great shape. But you can see the dash is absolutely a mess. I have managed to get almost everything working on it, so I just have to get the vacuum lines hooked up and the speedometer cable back in shape and get rid of this ugly steering wheel that was not properly installed. And it does run. If you can believe that, I had to replace all the belts, all the hoses, the rubber components, plugs, wires, and it fired up about the third time, put in a cheap battery, and the thing runs really, really well. I was absolutely amazed at how well this vehicle ran after sitting for over 20 years and doing nothing. And they're just a real fun, well-made vehicle. And they're quirky, you know, I'll admit it. But they're a lot of fun to drive. You can see here the headliner, and this is typical of almost all of them. Headliners are completely useless in it. You can replace the headliner with plastic headliners for, I think I found them online, somewhere around $600, which is the priciest parts are in here. The carpet set's about $350, not including the seats. You can see it's got one dent in the front here, and we've got the hood open on this shot, and I'll show you a little shot of it running. And it's a very, very smooth runner, and it runs very well. I found a little bit of a coolant leak in the heater hose. I replaced all the heater hoses, but looks to me like I missed something, or something's not quite right. Might be an intake gasket, I don't know yet. It has real good compression. 4x4 works on it. I've tried it in 4 high, 4 low, driven around the yard because the tires are, not street worthy. Keep checking back for future 84 Ramcharger videos, and thank you for watching Rusty Crumpets.
Rusty Crumpets.